I'm here with Alan Richardson, Worcestershire head coach, after the last game against Sussex. Alan, talking about the whole game first of all, how did you see it?
Yeah, it was a tough old slog, I think, for batters at times. There's some high quality bowling going on from both sides, which made it pretty difficult, I think. There's a couple of real flashes of very good batsmanship, should I put it, certainly from John Simpson and Coles for Sussex. And then yesterday I thought we had a real good battle on our hands, and we came out of that really well to give ourselves a chance, but we just couldn't quite get enough. And I think if we'd have made them chase 130, 140, it would have been a really interesting last innings.
In a way, does that kind of sum up the season, in the sense that you were in it, you've lost it, but you were actually right in the game?
We've probably had a lot more closer games than we did last year. Obviously we haven't won the games that we won last year, but I think certainly at home we've played the same game probably 7 times now, where they've been close and we haven't quite got over the line. We beat Essex here, had a couple of draws, some tight games of cricket. So yeah, probably a reflection of that. I think we've gone toe to toe for the majority of the season. There's been a couple of real disappointing performances, but in general we've gone toe to toe with some really good sides. And like I say, just disappointing that we haven't quite got over the line, but it's not been through lack of trying, certainly, and how the team have played is something I've been really proud of.
I know you don't like picking out certain individuals.
Let's not do it then, Frank.
But we've got to talk about Tom Taylor, because it looks very likely that he's going to finish as the top wicket taker in Division 1. He's at the top as we speak. Just Jack Leach could catch him. Bowled brilliantly again this morning. He's had a fantastic season.
Yeah, he's done really well. I think, unfortunately last year he missed the first half of the season through injury. And it's always a challenge when you move to a new club, but Tommy's really taken to it. I think, very popular member of the changing room, has worked really hard. He's a slightly different role than he had at Northants, but one that he's taken to really well. So opening the bowling and really, being one of the spearheads of the attack, has done it really well, and thoroughly deserves, every wicket that he's taken. He's put in a real shift for us, stayed fit. Contributed in the field, contributed with the bat as the season's gone on. So I'm really pleased for Tommy. It's a big thing when you move, and his whole family moves over. So Laura and the two kids have to move as well. And I'd like to think he really thinks this place is home.
He's shared a new ball with various different people as the season's gone on, but another bowler who's been a constant and has done pretty well, picked up over 40 wickets, I think, is Ben Allison.
Yeah, I'm really pleased for Ben. Another one that we've has moved to us. And I think he's done really well. He's another one who's fitted in really well. A 3-dimensional cricketer. I think he'll probably, by his own admission, say that he hasn't got the results with the bat, but someone we have high hopes for. Really good in the field, really good team man. Really popular again in the changing room. Has bowled really well. Again, more responsibility than he's ever had, and has taken it to really well. I think, if anything, keep looking back, he's bowled really well and not got the rewards at times, and as we've had 3 or 4 performances where I'm like, he deserves so much more. Has held his length really well, has challenged both edges. So hopefully, he's really enjoyed his season. Hopefully, that's part of his journey, and it'll continue on next year. I'm really pleased for him. Again, someone else who's had to move and come up from Essex, and has just fitted in really well.
Have you enjoyed the season?
Yeah, I have. It's a tough one when you say, have you enjoyed the season? We get relegated and we've not achieved the goal that we wanted in Championship cricket. But I have, more so not because of the results, but because of the people that I hang around with. I'm lucky enough to come in to work with. Not only when I'm here, but when we go away from home. Very privileged and honoured to have this position, and to also, like I say, be working with the people that I am. The boys are an absolute pleasure. They give me some grief at times, which is fine and thoroughly expected, but it's just, it's a real honour, like I say, just to be in and around and to watch some great cricket from both sides whenever we play. I've really enjoyed it. It's tiring, but really rewarding.
Have you changed as a coach?
I don't know, it's hard to say really. I think I've always had the beliefs that I've had. Probably they've just grown and evolved, and I've become more confident in those. And I suppose as it was when I was a player, you learn so much through your experiences that you have and the people that you deal with, and it'd be no different this time.
I asked Rob Jones this question yesterday. It's a tough one. Relegation and a cup. Does one mitigate the other?
Difficult to say really. It's quite difficult with cricket, just in terms of you play 3 completely different formats, and so it's success in one doesn't mean that you do particularly well in the others. So I think we should be really proud of the fact that we've won a cup. You know, if you look back at the history of the club, we haven't won too much in our very long, proud history. So, you know, the players and all the support staff should be extremely proud of being part of that. But part of our journey was to try and stabilise ourselves in Division 1, and we haven't been able to do that. So what I would say is, I look at it and I talk a lot to you about performances. I think our performances, despite where we've ended up, have been really strong at times. I think the way that the team operate has been great, and they've been some really challenging circumstances on the pitch this year, and they've stuck together really well. I think that's shown throughout. I think, you know, they're really proud of playing for the club and being part of a team. So I look at it, and are we a stronger team than probably 2 years ago? I think we probably are, but the results haven't quite shown that. So that's something that we have to build on again.
Just final question is just so people know what goes on. I mean, you're obviously going to have a break now, and the guys will come back in November or whatever. But as a coaching team and a staff generally, is there a sort of appraisal process now where you look back on everything and kind of reflect and try and work out what you've got to put right for next season?
Yeah, I think we do that throughout the season, but then we get together again at the end of the season and we'll look back on it and, you know, things that we did well, things that we didn't do so well, and where our gaps are and what we need to, you know, work on. It'd be similar with the players. We talk about their strengths and making sure they're really good at that. So we have to identify what our strengths are, but also where we need to improve. And so, yeah, that will be part of the process. You know, October's a fairly quiet month for us, but in terms of that, the players will be in next week. We'll be doing reviews for them and see how their seasons have gone, and then we'll review ourselves likewise and continue on from there. And, you know, we're back in the middle of November for a 4 or 5 month pre-season, which will be really enjoyable, but nothing compares to being out here.
As ever, Alan, thanks for your time, thanks for all the interviews, thanks for your honesty, and have a good break.
Cheers, Frank. Thank you very much.
Alan, really quick one just for us before you go. Just a word this year on the supporters and the people that have been behind you, followed you up and down the country and been there through thick and thin with you all along the journey this year.
Yeah, they're a hardy bunch, aren't they? I've been over to see a few of them down at the New Road stand. It's been amazing as always. You know, people must get sick of of me saying it, but I've, you know, very biased. But the support here that we have is 1 in a million. I think in terms of, you know, they're always there for us. Give us unconditional love, it almost feels like, as long as, you know, it looks like the boys are putting in and the support staff are. And so it's been amazing again, you know, really good. They travel really well in numbers. Always good to see them there when we're far afield, and then obviously when we're here, it just makes for a really special atmosphere, which, you know, always helps the boys perform.
A lot for them to look forward to next year as well?
I hope so, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Sam.
This is Mike the Plasterer. He needs a trusted supplier for his materials and tools. Mike needs Profile Store. With an easy-to-use website, you can check stock online, order it and collect it within the hour. Profile Store offer free delivery over £125 and fast overnight shipping. With over 2,000 products in stock, they're sure to have what you need. So get yourself down to the trade counter in Kidderminster today. Get the job done with profilestore.co.uk.